A few hours after burying his father, Lionel Messi walked onto a soccer field, and what he said before kickoff sent shockwaves through American soccer. Is the Argentine legend about to hang up his boots? In this video, we're breaking down everything, minute by minute, and looking at what it could mean for the rest of the MLS season. Stick around until the end, because what's happening right now could change the future of this league as we know it. To understand the shock of this past week, we need to rewind a little. This summer of 2026, Messi is living a season of two extremes. On one hand, he just played in his sixth and likely final World Cup with Argentina, falling just short in the final against Spain after extra time. A heartbreaking way to close out that chapter of his international career. On the other hand, he's back with Inter Miami, the reigning MLS Cup champions, aiming to defend their title in their brand new home, Miami Freedom Park, which opened its doors for the very first time this year. Everything seemed lined up for a storybook ending to his career, a new stadium, a title to defend, and one last World Cup behind him. Except life had other plans. Last week, Messi lost his father, Jorge, at the age of 68. He flew back to Argentina to attend the funeral, leaving Inter Miami to play their League's Cup match against Monterrey without their captain. The club lost that game 2-1, and for the first time in a long time, the conversation around Inter Miami wasn't about soccer at all. And that's where the story takes a completely unexpected turn. Instead of taking time away to process everything, Messi flew back to Florida the very next day after the funeral, and he announced he'd be available for Miami's next match, just hours after saying goodbye to his father. That alone is massive on a human level. But the story doesn't stop there. Before the match, in an emotional interview, Messi hinted at the possibility of stepping away from soccer altogether. A single comment, said almost in passing, was enough to set social media and sports outlets around the world ablaze within minutes. Every major outlet picked it up. Fans started asking the same question all at once. Is this the beginning of the end? Let's put this in context. Messi is 39 years old. He just went through one of the most physically and emotionally demanding tournaments of his career with that World Cup final loss. And now, on top of it all, a death in the family. For any athlete, that combination alone would be enough to seriously question what comes next. Most players in his position would have taken a break, no questions asked. Yet just hours later, he was on the bench, ready to play. Coming off the bench, Messi entered the match at halftime to a massive ovation from the home crowd. Everyone in that stadium understood exactly what he was carrying with him that night. And despite that courageous appearance, Inter Miami fell 3-2 to Mexican club León in the League's Cup. The result, the reigning MLS champions are officially out of the tournament. On the sporting side, that's a tough blow. Remember, Miami already lost a League's Cup final last year to Seattle, in a match marked by a brawl after the final whistle that got Luis Suarez suspended for part of this year's edition. So this competition has already been a rough one for the club, 2 years running. This time, it's an early exit, without even reaching the semifinals. But let's be honest, that night, the final score clearly wasn't the main story. What mattered was seeing Messi standing on that field, surrounded by his teammates, choosing to show up anyway. So, should we take his words at face value? Officially, his contract with Inter Miami runs through 2028. The club's ownership has never hidden their goal. They want him to finish his career in Miami, in this new stadium built, in many ways, around his legacy and his image. From a business standpoint, MLS has every incentive to keep him on the field as long as possible too, given how much value he's brought to the league's visibility in the U.S. But between the fatigue from the World Cup, this personal loss, and that comment made in a raw, emotional moment, the question has never felt more legitimate. Is this just a temporary dip after an incredibly hard few weeks? Or is it the real start of a countdown toward retirement? Meanwhile, don't forget, the MLS regular season is far from over. The playoff race is heating up across both conferences, and Inter Miami still has real business to take care of if they want to defend their MLS Cup title in December. So even with all this uncertainty around Messi, the games keep coming, and Miami's season could still swing either way depending on how he responds in the weeks ahead. To sum up, a death in the family, a powerful comment about a possible retirement, a lightning-fast return to the field, and an early exit from the League's Cup. In just a matter of days, Lionel Messi lived through one of the most intense stretches of his career, on a human level just as much as a sporting one. One thing is certain, MLS and Inter Miami are holding their breath right now. And so are we. So we'll keep following this story closely and bring you every update as soon as it happens. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Messi is really going to retire? Or was this just exhaustion and grief talking in the moment? Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe so you don't miss any MLS news, and we'll see you very soon for the rest of this story.